Yeah, next respiratory organ is the larynx. Okay, so this larynx, it is a connection between the pharynx and the esophagus. Okay, pharynx and larynx, they are connected each other by laryngopharynx. Okay, laryngopharynx. Next, coming to the position of the larynx. So the another name for larynx is, it is also called as voice box. Okay, so which extends from the root of the tongue, then it present at the third to sixth cervical vertebrae. Okay, so the connection between the pharynx and larynx is laryngopharynx. Okay, so here the development of larynx depends on the age. Okay, so when we get puberty, the size of the larynx, it is different in male and female. In the male, this larynx, which is makes the prominence of Adam's apple. What is Adam's apple? Nothing but when you observe in your neck portion, there is one swollen structure which extruded. Okay, so that is called as prominence of Adam's apple. Okay, laryngeal prominence also it is called. Okay, so which we observe in male after their puberty. Okay, next compared to growth, so in the female the larynx growth is slow, and in the males it grows larger in the size, which makes Adam's apple. Okay, Adam's apple is nothing but the portion which the bony like structure or the swollen structure which looks like a round like apple at your neck portion, that is called as Adam's apple. Okay, then coming to the superior, inferior, anterior structure, superiorly hyoid bone will be there. Okay, also roof of the tongue, and inferiorly it is continuous with the esophagus. Larynx is continuous with the trachea. Pharynx is continuous with the esophagus. Okay, then anteriorly the muscles of the neck will be there, and posteriorly laryngopharynx, and third to sixth cervical vertebrae, third, fourth, 5, 6. Okay, fifth, sixth cervical vertebrae will be there. So here this portion is your larynx. This portion, the green like yellowish like one is there, no? This portion, the entire portion is your larynx. Here it is pharynx. This is pharynx, this is larynx. Here it is trachea. This is mouth, this is the nasal cavity. Yeah, then coming to the structure of the larynx. Larynx, which is composed of cartilages and the ligaments. Okay, so these cartilages, they are connected each other, or they are connected to the hyoid bone by ligaments. Okay, so these cartilages, they are the irregularly shaped and attached to the each and other by the ligaments, I said earlier. Okay, so here we have the main cartilages. Okay, so there are one thyroid cartilage, one cricoid cartilage, two arytenoid cartilages, and one epiglottis. Okay, thyroid, cricoid, arytenoid. One thyroid, one cricoid, two arytenoids, and one epiglottis. Thyroid, cricoid, and arytenoid cartilages, they are made up of hyaline cartilage. Okay, whereas epiglottis, which act as a lid-like structure, okay, which prevents the entry of the food into your trachea. Okay, that is made up of fibrocartilage. Okay, this you have to remember. Then coming to the each and every cartilage, thyroid cartilage. First cartilage is the thyroid cartilage. This is the most prominent type of cartilage. Okay, so most prominent type of cartilage is thyroid cartilage, then which is present at the anterior and the lateral walls. Nothing but lateral and anterior wall of your larynx made up of thyroid cartilage. As I said, the thyroid cartilage which is made up of hyaline cartilage. Okay, so which is important for the prominence of laryngeal prominence or Adam's apple. Okay, so Adam's apple is made up of thyroid cartilage. When you want to specify cartilages wise, the cartilage is thyroid cartilage in your Adam's apple. Okay, then next, where it is attached? So it is attached at the hyoid bone. It is attached to the hyoid bone above, and below it is attached to the cricoid cartilage. Okay, see here above the hyoid bone will be there. To that hyoid bone, here to that hyoid bone, here thyroid cartilage will be attached above. Below it is attached to the cricoid cartilage. Okay, this one is the cricoid, this one is the thyroid. These two are the arytenoid. As I said, arytenoid are two will be there. Thyroid one, cricoid one. Below trachea. Okay, next coming to the cricoid cartilage. Where it is present? This cricoid cartilage is present below to the thyroid cartilage. Okay, so and it is made up of same hyaline cartilage. So this cricoid cartilage which forms signet ring shaped structures around your larynx. Okay, so signet ring like structures will be made by cricoid cartilage. Okay, so this cricoid cartilage, it forms a signet ring structures. No, these structures are narrow at the anterior side, broad at the posterior side. Nothing but posteriorly it promotes the presence of esophagus. Okay, next coming to the arytenoid cartilage. So here there are two arytenoid cartilages which are in a pyramid shape, and they are also made up of hyaline cartilage. They are present at the top of the broad part of the cricoid cartilage. As I said, it consists of narrow and broad structure. At the broad structure, these are present. Here, these are the arytenoid, cricoid, thyroid, then hyoid bone, epiglottis. Okay. Then coming to the epiglottis. Okay, so epiglottis, which is a lid-like structure, which is in a leaf shape, which is made up of fibroelastic tissue, fibroelastic cartilage, and it is attached to the anterior wall of the thyroid cartilage from the inferior side. Nothing but inner side. The inner side of the thyroid cartilage is attached to the epiglottis. Okay, so here a stalk like cartilage helps in this connection. Okay, so the leaf shaped epiglottis is attached to the thyroid cartilage by another cartilage which act as a stalk. Okay, as we know flower stalk will be there, no, like that. Here there is one stalk like cartilage which promotes the connection between the thyroid cartilage and the epiglottis. Then coming to the blood supply and nerve supply, this larynx which is supplied with the superior and inferior laryngeal arteries, and the veins are the thyroid veins, and the nerves are the laryngeal nerves. So this structure is very important. Then coming to the functions. Okay, so here larynx which is important for the production of sound. Okay, so here the sound, it consists of three main properties. One is the pitch, second one is the volume, and the resonance. Okay, so before going to this function of larynx, we have to discuss about inferior structure of the larynx. Okay, so in the inferior structure of the larynx there is presence of two vocal cords. Okay, so here these vocal cords, they are important for production of sound. Okay, what are vocal cords? Vocal cords nothing but a fold of mucous membrane. Okay, so at the inside they appears like a cord like structures. Okay, they are pale in color. Okay, so they will stretch across your laryngopharynx. Okay, so in the inferior structure of the larynx there is a presence of two vocal cords. Vocal cords nothing but folds of the mucous membrane which appear in pale color. They are present across the opening of the larynx. Okay, so whenever these vocal cords stretch, there is a production of sound. Okay, so here where they extend, from where to where they extend, I said they present across the laryngeal opening, no, they extend from the Adam's apple to arytenoid cartilage. Okay, so nothing but they extend from the thyroid cartilage to the arytenoid cartilage. These vocal cords are present thyroid cartilage to the arytenoid cartilage. In this diagram we are not able to look for this. No, there is no vocal cords. Okay, so just to go through your textbook, there is clearly given they are just present across the laryngeal opening, and they are the connections between your thyroid cartilage and the arytenoid cartilage. Okay, so that is about your inferior structure of larynx which consists of vocal cords. Okay, so here the gap between the vocal cords is called as glottis. The gap between the vocal cords are called as glottis. Okay, so this may be important for your 2 marks or 3 marks question. Then apart from this, you have to remember two terms, abduction and adduction. ABD 1 ADD. Okay, abduction ABDUCTION, adduction ADDCTION. Okay, so the vocal cords are said to be abducted when they are in the relaxed state. Okay, or they are in the open state. They are called as abducted. Okay, so in this abducted position the vocal cords produce a low pitch sound. Okay, Then another term, adduction, when the vocal cords constricts. When the vocal cord constricts, when the laryngeal opening closes, then that is called as abduction, which produces high pitch sound. Okay, so here pitch is nothing but which is related to the sound. The pitch of the sound depends on the position of your vocal cords and the strength of the stretching. Okay, so here in the function the sound has three specific properties: pitch, volume and the resonance, or nothing but tone. Okay, so here the pitch is depends on the length and tightness of the stretching. Okay, so if the length is short, there is a high pitch. If the length is long, there is a low pitch. Okay, not then coming to the volume. Okay, what I said, these vocal cords will stretch, no, if the force of stretching will be more. Okay, then the volume is high. When the force of stretching is less, then there is low volume. Then coming to the resonance or tone. Okay, so these resonance or tone which also depends on the shape of the mouth, position of the tongue and also lips. Okay, so all this helps in your speech along with your para nasal sinuses which are filled with the air. Okay, so all these are helps in your sound. Next to speech. So here in speaking process also paranasal sinuses helps. Along with the paranasal sinuses, your tongue and your lips, your cheeks, all they will modulate your way of speaking. Okay, then so larynx, it protects the lower respiratory tract because this larynx, it is covered with the ciliated columnar epithelium. Only oropharynx, it is covered with the stratified squamous epithelium. Remaining all, they are lined with the columnar ciliated epithelium. So they meant for the protection by dropping the dust particles. Okay, so it is also said as passage for air. The humidification, filtering, warming processor, same for this larynx also. Filtering because of the cilia, warming because of the vast surface area. Actually most of the warming takes place at the nose only. At the larynx, when it reaches to the larynx, most of the warming processes completes, but whenever it not get warm in the nose, then it get warms in the larynx. Okay, next coming to the trachea. Okay, so the another name for the trachea is the windpipe. So the larynx is continuous as trachea. Okay, so this trachea, it extends up to the fifth thoracic vertebrae. Okay, then at the fifth thoracic vertebrae, this trachea, it divides into two bronchi, right and the left bronchi. The space where it divides into right and left bronchi, it is called as cornea. Okay, so the length of the trachea is 10 to 11 centimeters. Okay, then we have to write about what are the relative organs which are present to the trachea. Superiorly larynx is there, inferiorly your lungs will inferiorly bronchi will be there which passes into your lungs. Then anteriorly thyroid gland and posteriorly esophagus, laterally both the lungs will be present. Okay, so this trachea which passes along the length of your midline. Okay, then coming to the structure of the trachea. See here, this is trachea, thyroid gland, thyroid cartilage, cricoid cartilage, epiglottis. Okay. Okay, coming to the structure of the trachea. Okay, so this trachea, it consists of 3 layers. Okay, so which forms a cloth like structure. Okay, so along the length of the trachea there is a C-shaped line rings which are made up of cartilage. C-shaped cartilage rings along the length of the trachea. Okay, inside there is a lumen, posteriorly there is a esophagus. Okay, so these C-shaped rings, they are complete anteriorly, posteriorly they are incomplete. They impart the movement of the esophagus. Okay, so here I said there are 3 layers in the trachea, no? Tracheal lining, outer layer, middle layer and the inner layer. So outer layer which is made up of elastic tissue and the cartilages, middle layer which is made up of cartilages and smooth muscle bands. Okay, so here these muscle bands, they are called as trachealis muscles. Okay, trachealis muscles which are present in the middle layer of the trachea, and inner it is made up of columnar epithelium. In between columnar epithelium there is a mucus secreting goblet cells. That is about the structure of the trachea. These C-shaped rings, they are made up of 3 layers of tissues. Outer layer is elastic tissue, middle layer is smooth muscle bands and the cartilages. The smooth muscle bands, they are called as trachealis muscles, and inner it is columnar epithelium. Okay, here it is mentioned. Okay, then coming to the blood supply and the nerve supply. Blood supply by the thyroid artery and the bronchial artery, and venous drainage by the inferior thyroid vein. Thyroid artery, thyroid vein involves, and bronchial artery also involves. Nerves are laryngeal nerves. Then function. Okay, so trachea, it is important for the support and patency. Patency nothing but the permanent opening. Okay, patency nothing but permanent opening. Next, mucociliary escalator. So here, as I said, the inner trachea, the inner layer of the trachea which is made up of ciliated columnar epithelium. When something enters, dust or any bacteria, any microorganisms enters to the trachea, the cilia, it captures. Okay, and the cilia, it warps upside and it produces cough or sneeze or any response. Okay, then cough reflex. Okay, so this trachea which consists of sensory receptors, they are sensitive for irritants. Okay, whenever any irritant which irritate that mucosa, then it produces a cough reflex or cough sensation. Then warming, humidification, filtering, all are the same.